What's going on, guys? Welcome back to BlackTideTV. Today you're watching my very first gameplay with the STG. I got it yesterday and I've been using it pretty much ever since. This was the actual very first gameplay I've ever played with the STG. Obviously in my supply drop I got the royalty variant, so I'm using the royalty variant. The royalty is kind of a stupid variant for the STG. It's like not a royalty variant. Like all the other royalty variants are like super elites, like they're the same as another elite plus one other thing, whereas this one, it's just like, it's weird. Like it only has 3 attributes and only 2 of them are good, whereas almost every other elite in the game has like +3 attributes, -3 attributes, whereas this one is just +1 handling, +1 mobility, and -1 range. So it's not a very good royalty variant at all. So I don't know why it's like that, but it's definitely something to think about when you're looking for your variants for this gun. Like the royalty variant is not a royalty variant; it's more like an enlisted variant. So it's very strange, and it's kind of weak because it's losing that range. But apart from that, it's really cool. The camo looks awesome on this. Most other royalty guns, they kind of have white that goes with the royalty, whereas this one is just like the whole thing is like the purple royalty camo. It looks really cool, and it's a really awesome weapon. So the major thing that I love about this weapon is just how it looks. I love the aesthetic of it. The aesthetics of it. It's like a World War II weapon. Like the STG44 is a real weapon, and it was made for World War II. And this weapon just looks so cool. Like it's really awesome looking. It's actually, I find it would be accurate to like a historic portrayal of the STG44, because a World War II fully automatic weapon, it's going to have really high damage compared to any other weapon in that time. It would have the highest damage, but it's also going to be very like bulky, and it's going to be hard to keep accurate. So that's kind of the main thing you're thinking about when you're making this historically accurate, is that it's not going to be very accurate, but it's going to have really high damage, and this hits that on the head. The STG does 40 damage up close. This thing is ridiculously powerful. Just so you guys can kind of visualize that, is that 40 damage times 2. So if you hit a guy with 2 bullets, you're doing 80 damage. Almost all of the guns, I'm pretty sure all of the guns, will do over 20 damage. Like every single gun in this game will do over 20 damage at the farthest range. So if anybody hits that guy, hits the guy that you're shooting with 1 bullet from any range anywhere, and you hit him with 2 bullets, you're gonna get a kill. So this thing is really good. It's technically a 3-4 shot kill, but it's so powerful. Actually, I think it's a 3-5 shot kill. I think it goes down to 24 at distance. But it's so powerful up close that if you're using it in the right range, you can get 2-shot kills and just melt people like crazy. It's super powerful, and it's a real shame that it's not an actual weapon in this game. Well, I mean, like, you know what I mean. You have to unlock it using a supply drop, because this weapon would be super sweet if it was a real weapon, like a weapon that you could just unlock anywhere, and or unlock just by hitting a certain rank and then using it, because it's really cool. But I do understand how they're putting this one in like the SVO and the blunderbuss. They're all kind of additional weapons, because they're not really they don't really fit they don't really fit the game. The game is advanced warfare. It's about the future, and these are really past weapons that are just kind of there for fun. But there is a little hidden thing in there that I'm going to talk about in an upcoming Pure Free-For-All, and you should definitely stay tuned for that by subscribing. But I'm not going to talk any more about that. That's going to be a secret about these past weapons that we're seeing in the future games. So other than that, let's keep going on this STG. This STG is friggin' awesome. The royalty camo looks great on it. Not this royalty camo, the other royalty camo, because once you get the royalty camo for all the assault rifles, when I unlock the STG, it immediately goes over to the STG. It looks really sweet on it. I'll probably make an STG camo showcase where I just show you the diamond camo, the royalty camo, and the natural camo, just all in just one video, just so you guys can see it. And yeah, so this weapon is really sweet. I did really amazing on my first game. I went like 42 and 19 or 46 and 19, something like that. In hardpoint, I could have done better, but I was using the sentry turret. You can see that I'm using a very strange class right now. I have like 4 score streaks and all kinds of crazy perks. It's because I'm trying to, well, I was trying to finish a whole bunch of challenges. If you don't know anything about that, then you haven't seen one of my recent videos where I explain that. I'm just trying to get through all my challenges so I can unlock more variants. The only way to unlock more variants is through advanced supply drops, and you get those for ranking up. So I'm trying to just do all the challenges, get as much XP as I can, and unlock as many supply drops as I can, because I want to keep going with Elite versus Elite on this channel, and to do that I need more Elite variants. So I'm really trying hard to get some Elite variants there. I'm not going to buy advanced supply drops, but other than that, this is the fastest way to do it. So that's why my class is a little bit weird. In a couple videos that I've already put out, a couple videos in the future, my class is going to remain weird, just because I was just finishing up some challenges. I have finished almost all the challenges in the game at this point, and I'm just working on playing, like getting really high scores in each game, and this STG is really helping me do that. Let's talk about a little bit of the bad stuff about the STG. I noticed myself reloading there, and I thought about it, is that the reload speed on this thing is abhorrent. It's really slow. You put the clip away, and then you're like feeling around like, oh no, where's the other clip? And then you put it in, and then you keep going. Like it takes a second. He puts the clip down, he kind of holds the gun there, and then he takes the next clip. So it is a bit slow for an assault rifle. Dual mags is definitely recommended, and extended mags is recommended as well. With extended mags, it doesn't kind of seem like this weapon ever runs out of ammo. Like extended mags, I just keep going. You just keep going and killing people and killing people and killing people, and you don't even realize that you still have like 15 bullets left. It's crazy how good extended mags works for this. But dual mags is definitely recommended. I always run it with dual mags now that I've unlocked them, because it just makes that first reload really quick. And that's definitely a good thing for this weapon, because the reload is pretty slow. The other things that are really bad about it are the kick. Like I said, it's very historically accurate as to how bad the accuracy is. Like this thing kicks like crazy. And one thing that kind of ties in with the kick is the iron sights. I would say to you guys, if you asked me about the iron sights, I'd tell you, you have to have good spatial sense to use the iron sights. And you might be like, what kind of crack are you smoking? But hear me out. With the iron sights with this weapon are so weird. Like I love the iron sights on this weapon, just for one. I hate putting optics on this weapon. I love the iron sights more than anything in the world. I love them so much, but they're terrible. They're so bad because they're like this little tiny little oval at the end with a little bar, and it's so hard to look down them, especially with that kick. Remember how I said they tie in? When you're firing this weapon, your gun will kick up over where you were just aiming, because the reticle in the iron sights is so small. When this weapon kicks, you're going to cover your target, so you have no idea where your enemy is. That's where the spatial sense comes in. You have to kind of imagine where your enemy is, because when it kicks up, you'll be kicking up and you'll be shooting them in the head, which is going to get you a kill quicker, but you're not going to know where their head is. If they even sidestep a little bit, or move towards you, move farther away a little bit, you're going to start missing them, and then you're going to die. So that's why you have to have good spatial sense with this weapon. You have to kind of know where the enemy's going to be. You have to kind of estimate. You have to kind of think about what the enemy's going to do when you start shooting at them before you start shooting at them, or just shoot them in the back before they even know you're there. And this weapon works great too. So the royalty variant, I wouldn't put suppressor on. I've tried it with suppressor, but it's not that amazing, because you're losing like 3 range now instead of just 1 range, which takes away from the gun. The range and the damage are definitely the 2 best parts about this gun. The range, of course, being at close range, you're doing 40 damage, and you don't want to get out of that 40 damage range. That's a crazy high damage rate. The medium range, you're still doing 33 damage, so that's a 4-shot kill. But even if someone's hit by a stun grenade, you're going to be getting a 3-shot kill. So you want to keep it up close and personal, and this weapon really works for that. High damage, really great. Like it's decent fire rate. It's got It's got actually very, very good hipfire cone as well. I haven't mentioned that yet. You can actually just hipfire this weapon and do amazing. Like, this is really good for hipfire. If you wanted to tighten that up even more, you could use the laser sight. There's so many options with this weapon, and it's such a great weapon. I even have probably the worst variant, and it's the royalty variant. And I probably have the worst one, and it's still amazing. So if you get this weapon, do not hesitate. Put this shit on and use it. It's amazing. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. Comment down below what your favorite way to run the STG is. And as always, guys, share this with all your friends. Subscribe for more content, and I'll see you later.